I keep saying it.
Just get it done, Coach.
He's a verb now. Again, they were up on Green Bay most of the day. We'll just show you the final play. Packers down 23-19. Final chance. All you need is love? Not so much. Damontae Kazee with the interception. Get out of bounds, young man, and the game is over. And that's what he does. So despite only 126 yards passing from Kenny Pickett, the Steelers win again. They are Tomlining their way to the most unusual season of all time. Since yards were first tracked in the NFL, which was a while ago, it was 1933, Pittsburgh is the 23rd team to be outgained in each of their first 9 games of a season. Not only are the only team of that bunch to have a winning record, they're 6-3. Here's my suggestion, Rex. Let's just rename the Coach of the Year award the Mike Tomlin Award and give that to someone else every year. You can't coach a team better than this guy is coaching this team because they stink, and they're 6-3.
They stink until the fourth quarter.
No. Yeah.
And I'm just telling you, the guy is
Teddy, their offense is unwatchable.
What we just do, talking about the other team, the Ravens, who can't finish in the fourth quarter. You're saying they should be 10-0. So now we got the Steelers that are doing it when it matters most, and you're saying they stink?
I can't watch them play offense. I can't watch the first 3 quarters.
Can you watch them win?
That's all they do.
Steelers fans, you know, it's like, how do they do it?
What a line. Can you watch them win?
How do they do it? Guys, how are they doing
this? This is how they do it. T.J. Watt, Highsmith, that no one can score points on them, except Houston hung 30 on them this year. Everyone else is going to struggle to score points on them. They get the game to the fourth quarter, and I listen, I could take a dice, I could roll the dice, and I could tell you the 5 or 6 plays that their offense is going to run. So I'm aware of that. And I told everybody a month ago this. The kid is clutch. Kenny Pickett may not be good, I don't know, whatever. He's clutch. And you get him to the fourth quarter, and it's like he makes a run.
You talk about finishers. You bring up Highsmith. How about Patrick Peterson? Just always finding a way to do something.
Dude, I'm
get his hands on the ball.
You guys know this better than me. T.J. Watt, and it sounds like stupid and cliche, just his effort, I feel, legitimately keeps them in and wins games. His effort.
Yeah, well, I look at it this way. If you can run the football and play defense, you can win.
They find one run a game.
But I'm saying,
one run a game.
And they're consistent with it. They keep running the football, right? All right, but ground and pound doesn't work. Oh, really? It wins. It wins, and it shows up in the fourth quarter. That's why they win.
Jalen Warren is breaking.
And it's easy, because I always say they're the worst 5-3 team in the league before this game. And I said after what was going to happen. They're going to win the game. They are now going to be the worst 6-3 team.
Can they go 4-4?
I don't care what it looks like statistically.
These are the
they're going to make it. They're going to make it.
Deshaun Watson, who up and down. They got Joe Burrow twice. Then they got Kyler, Mac Jones, Gardner Minshew, Geno Smith.
Well, watch out for that Mac Jones.
They're good. Listen,
I'll say this last thing, okay?
Yeah, quick.
It does come back to bite you. Remember the Vikings of last year. They found a way to win, and if you can't do it those first 3 quarters, in the end.
Shout out Kimberly Martin. Her big preseason prediction that every team in this division was going to make the playoffs. They've got a really good chance.
This season.
640 yards of offense for the Cowboys in a game that was 49-17, but don't let that fool you. It wasn't nearly that close. After the game, Jerry Jones said it's the best he's ever seen Dak play, this stretch of football. If you go back to the Monday night game against the Chargers week 6, he leads the league with 361 total yards per game. He has 14 total touchdowns, which leads the league in that span. And so we all know how the Dak Prescott fans feel about Danny. You've had your ups and downs with Dakota. Is this the best he's ever played?
Yeah, it's the best he's ever played, and I think that it's certainly the best athletically he's looked since the ankle injury. That's the real difference in his game. Outside of like Dallas finally throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb, 3rd and 6, 3-man rush. There's very little wasted movement or hesitation from Dak. No one's open. Now it's a foot race to the sideline. We hadn't seen that in the past couple years. That's great. This is one of his better plays in the past couple years. Look at, takes off, sudden to retrace. He's going to throw this ball off 1 foot, fading back from the 39-yard line, and that goes all the way down to the 11-yard line, and a completion to CeeDee Lamb, almost 30 yards in the air, and then this is their touchdown. Again, 3rd red zone. What was the issues with this football team? Maybe finally the suddenness and the athleticism is back. Not only when it's needed, when a little bit of his scrambling. I also saw 3 different occasions when they purposefully moved the pocket for Dak Prescott. So it's the best when it comes to his leg use.
Three or four. What do you think? 3 or 4 plays a game. That's all he needs, right? Because defensively, that just makes everything different for us.
Tedy, I'm reading your notes here, and it says, "quote I learned absolutely nothing about the Cowboys in this game." Why is that?
Yeah. I see all the highlights and you see all the great stuff, but then it's you're playing a giant team that skews the NFL statistics, really, in my mind.
What does that mean?
Because it's like, okay, the pass rush, the defense, you got all these sacks, the offense, you got all this. Okay, how many times did you play the Giants? Did you play the Giants? Because they are giving up hand over fist statistics, and everyone that plays them is ready to do that. You have that mentality. You know when the stat game's coming up, we're playing the Giants. They aren't inspired. They're not playing hard. They're just trying to get through the season. It seems like that's what I see when I see the New York Giants. The Cowboys here, when does it really matter, guys? When does it really matter? When the big games come around again, that's what it's going to be. Because I agree with you. What I've seen from Dak, too, recently in the last month, it's like, man, I've been a Dak doubter also, but he is, those 3 or 4 plays that you're talking about. Yeah.
Against Philly.
In the red area, in the fourth quarter, man. Yeah, when it's served up to you on a platter, let's go. That's what I'm
The funny thing is that, like, I've always been a huge Dak supporter, as you guys know.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like, I make stuff up, right? Because remember when I said Dak needs to use his legs and all that? Like, clearly I've said it many weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's when he'll get back to being the Dak Prescott. Well, we see it in the red zone. How are you going to be better in the red zone? Use your legs. By the way, this Brandon Cooks, I made it up. I mean, really. I mean, let's see the quarterbacks. Let's see. He's had 1,000 yards receiving under Davis Mills, Tyrod Taylor, Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Finally, Dallas realized he's their second best receiver on their team, and it ain't close.
Yeah.
And so that I'm encouraged with. Using Dak's legs in the red zone, I've called for it forever. I said I had him over Philly, okay? And I'll never pick him over Philly because he's my old man. Yeah, I don't want him rolling over in his grave. But they've closed the gap. Why? They brought in Stephon Gilmore. They brought in Brandon Cooks. This guy right here is playing phenomenal.
I'm not making anything out of the performance for the Dallas Cowboys outside of
they played the little Giants.
They're good with that.
The little Giants.
You're right.
The Dak athleticism, the movement, the use of legs, that's the development for me that is different.
Say it one more time so everyone hears it right.
It's the little Giants they're playing. This team's not the New York Giants. The New York Giants made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
This is the little Giants. And so you're talking about skewed stats. I expected more out of the little Giants. I saw the movie. This team stinks.
They've been outgained by 250 yards 3 times this year.
They stink.
I mean, it's
what happened? They got good players on defense. 640 yards. Did they have to play him 5 times? I don't know.
The 49ers humiliate Jacksonville in their own building. What did you see from San Francisco?
This was a Cindy Lauper game for me. Your true colors are going to come shining through, okay? I see your true colors. One of these teams it was going to be, and it was the San Francisco 49ers. They are back. Can you end a slump after a bye? Both of these teams were coming off a bye. Are you real, Jacksonville? No, you're not. Not this week. The San Francisco 49ers are back to playing great football.
Well, did this game tell us more about just how good San Francisco is or how far away from being elite the Jaguars actually are?
I think Jacksonville, unfortunately, look, they came into the game the hottest team in the league. They won 5 straight.
Yep.
And
it's at home.
At home.
Alumni game. Everybody's coming back.
Like, they won 1 game at home.
For me, it was just reconfirming the initial thoughts of San Francisco. Trent Williams played. Deebo Samuels played.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy looked like Brock Purdy. But the biggest takeaway was their defense. Their defense has not looked that way. They were unbelievably physical at the line of scrimmage.
Chase Young showed up. Chase Young,
yeah,
that's why you go get a Chase Young.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. Next game, Seahawks escape with a 3-point win over the Commanders. Rex, what do we say about Seattle today?
This is a typical Seahawk win, right? It comes down to the last minute. Geno Smith's got to get you in the end zone and win the game. That's what they do. But, man, they can look so ugly at times. Let Washington hang around and then come back and like, oh, hey, we're going to find a way to win. That's what they did, so good for Seattle.
Tedy, when we talk about the NFC big boys, I feel like we never mention the Seahawks, should we?
Not yet. I don't think so. I mean, I still look at Geno Smith as someone that makes those 2 to 3 decisions a game that are game-altering, that are just head-scratching. And That's what I'll always be watching for Geno to make the mistake. He didn't do it this time.
They're a playoff
they got
team,
it done.
They feel like a playoff.
Make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's 7 teams make the playoffs.
7 teams make the playoffs now. I mean,
it's another to be able to make that
I'm talking
run.
championship, that upper tier.
Here's a team that can. Dan, the Lions, your old team, 41-38 over the Chargers. What did you see from the Detroit Lions?
Guts, toughness, grit, everything that matters the most in this game. 4th and 2, we're in field goal range. Should we kick it? Probably, because everybody else is saying, Dan Campbell, if you go for it and you don't make it, that was a dumb decision. No, you trust your football team. You believe in your identity. We're going to trust our quarterback and our rookie tight end to sit down versus zone coverage, and they go and take the win. They weren't going to go try and do everything to not lose. Go and take the win on the road, and I love that identity. Another affirmation of identity in Detroit.
A team that's in the Chargers that are also feeling good about themselves. You know, you're going to their place like you're talking about, but hey, the Lions are saying, we're not the Jets, we're not the Bears, all right? We're coming into your house and we're going to win.
Yeah, I'm not sure they really have a house. I mean, the Chargers don't have a house the way everyone else has.
You're still on the road,
like
you're still on the road.
Yeah, you're on the road. I mean, your fans are all there, but you're on the road. Rex, this is your favorite coach, Dan Campbell, against, I don't want to say your least favorite coach, and Brandon Staley.
He's up there.
He's
up there, Greeny. And, I mean, look, this is a dude, this is a dude that was born on third base, inheriting Justin Herbert, a Hall of Fame quarterback, thinks he hit a triple. I'm a genius. You can't get it done.
You know what?
This quarterback, do we realize how awesome this quarterback is? Do you realize how horrible your defense is, the one that you're in charge of?
But at least they didn't blow 2 coverages in the first 3 snaps of the game.
Which, of course, they did. Dad and I were watching it. But here's the thing. Going into it, this team, what do? This is great. Let's practice our celebrations on defense. And I'm like, I go to the floor. I'm like, really? Detroit's going to celebrate your end zone, which they did. This is the 30th ranked defense in the National Football League. And it's great because, boy, they were feeling good, you know, playing against horrible football teams. So, to me, this is a true look, and I love it. Well, hey, we can get these things. We're right where we want to be. Yeah, you got a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's impossible not to win with a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Hey, I got 2 words for you on the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh. Book it. Next year, Harbaugh coaching the Chargers. You just watch.